everyone and welcome back to the second episode from Escalia. In the last episode we have discovered that we have player heads on Eseva and they keep their previous skin. And now I think it's pretty obvious what I'm going to try to do with them. The moment of truth. Well, this is weird. What is this look like? What? Wood? Hmm. Oh boy. Apparently, this playerheads is a custom in-house plugin of the server and playerheads here do not update. Never. What a shame. Meanwhile, I've been making some early game mini-farms like this egg farm over here. Yeah, we'll use those eggs to make the auto chicken cooker in the future. And this is the melon farm and we're going to need tons of melons in the future. How it works, here we have a melon stem and melon blocks will grow here or here, and when it happens, observer will detect an update of a melon stem, and through this block and redstone dust around it, it will power pistons next to the observer. Yeah. And the third farm we are about to build is the cactus farm. For a cactus farm, you need raw or water sources going like this, and water will move items like that. Here we have a water stream going like so, and items will end up in this hopper and in the chest. Yeah. The important note is that you have to have supporting blocks above the water, because it's the easy way to make sure that items will not stuck anywhere. Our next step is to put cobblestone walls up and around the cacti. Like that, and this is the fully functional cactus farm. The idea is that cacti are still able to grow, and when they grow up they will pop because there is a block next to them. And having specifically cobblestone walls means that they will hit the wall and fall down rather than being destroyed by the other cacti. And then cactus item will move to the storage. Let's move on to our upcoming villager trading hall. The idea is that we are going to have villagers standing in their cells and we can just walk around and trade with them. And since he'll be standing on a pressure plate, he will activate a trapdoor and he'll be stuck in his cell. And this is how I prepare for 1.14. Here we have a crafting bench that will be replaced with whatever block they need, and we also have space for a bed in case if bed will be necessary. And this is the second part of the puzzle. This is the villager breeder. This is going to be a fake village that will force our villagers to infinitely breed, and good villagers will eventually end up in the trading hall. And yes, this design is going to break in 1.14, which has been already released, but this is a Spigot server, and it will take some time to update, so we have plenty of time. So, we have one villager there, and we need two more villagers in the chamber right below. Куда? And like that, you would better stay alive. Fall in, you stupid idiot. Finally! Next we need to put glass. Like a so and a so. Yes, their heads should be stuck in glass. And this is the villager breeder done. He will have two villagers that will do the thing, and he will have a fake village that contains one villager and six doors. Here is the better view in the creative world. He will have a villager and six doors, and we have to have solid blocks above the doors, but other spaces up and around should be free from solid blocks, because this is how the village detection works in 1.13. Because these villagers more than 6 blocks below, the game does not count them as a part of a village, and this is why that lonely villager thinks, "Hey, we have to breed," but villagers from below can hear that message, and thus they become willing to breed. And once they have a baby, it will drop to the water, and water will move that baby to this spot, and when he grow up, his head will touch the water, he will swim upwards, and he will end up in this chamber. In this chamber, we are going to store adult villagers ready for the trade inspection. And I have remembered something. In order for these villagers to breed, they have to be well fed. And if we want to make a villager-powered crop farm, it has to be at least 64 blocks away from any village, including this one. Let's do a test. Here we have our farmer. Well, is actually a fisherman, but any brown-coated villager is able to plant the crops. No, 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 no. If that villager will have two types of crops, it will ruin everything. And I have a note placed those carrots, which means he had some already. Oh boy. If we'll make a carrot farm instead of a potato farm, this will do for us as well. It works. It works. Nice. Let's do a proper farm then. And this is our crop farm. We're using design made Biological Geek Boy. There should be a link in the iCards. The idea is that this fool will plant carrots everywhere, and these waterlogged slabs will keep the soil hydrated. And in the very center, we have to place a hopper minecart on top of a hopper block. Now we break the rail, and now we push a dirt block into the minecart. And now, if we press F3, we can see that the light level here is 7, and in the normal circumstances, you shouldn't be able to place a globe here. Let me show you. See? Wait, what? Ah, we have a piston here. Like that, we can plant carrots everywhere, but we cannot plant carrots in the very center. However, villager can. So he will be able to plant the crop, but if we give it a block update, it will pop, and hopper minecart that is hidden inside the floor will pick it up. Now we put observer like that, and the second observer should be placed like so, to make both of them be facing each other, and that will create the redstone clock, and with the redstone dust on top of it, we will update our crop in the center as soon as it's placed. Aha! You've seen that? This is exactly how it should work. Nice. I went AFK for some time, and I have realized something. This is not a vanilla server. This is Spigot, and that means it functions differently. For example, it looks like entity tick is configured to be slowed down significantly if that entity is not pretty close to us. You see, in pure vanilla, if entity is in the loaded chunks, it always ticks. So, here we have our parent villagers, and we have bunch of carrots to feed them. And we can just drop them in their faces. And they took all of them. And they finally have enough. Nice. Oh, that's supposed to be the love hearts, but something is wrong with my resource pack. And there are the love hearts. No baby though. Couple of trial and errors later. You know what? I think these blocks have to do something with villagers not making babies. Aha! We have a baby! The second baby, actually. Baby was immediately ejected out of the breeding cell because we have a full block in the center, but there are slabs from the sides, and this made him catapult to the side ASAP and drop down to the water to be flushed into this corner. And then I had some issues with that setup, like villagers facing through the walls or not swimming upwards, so let's jump to the part where I have made a working design. And here is the fix. Top part is still the same. Water is still flushes baby into this corner, but corner is made of solid blocks. He will have a cobblestone wall which is not waterlogged, and that wall makes baby villager staying higher than a regular block, and when he will grow up, he will hit the water above him, and he will swim to the storage chamber. Another thing to keep in mind is that you have to feed your parent villagers from time to time. It seems to be that they just eat over time, and if they don't have enough food, they will just not be willing to breed. So, we have plenty of villagers, and the idea is that when we press one of these buttons, we should get a villager. Here it is. So, the idea is that we have a villager and we can trade with him to inspect his traits, and then we can discard him or we can add him to our trading hall. For example, here we have a farmer that happen to have almost the best farmer traits possible, and we can use this farmer to convert carrots and melons into the emeralds, and this is why I've bought it with carrot and melon farms we did earlier today. And here we have the toolsmith, and he can potentially be a very valuable villager because he can trade a diamond pickaxe in his last set of trades. Diamond pickaxe with unbreaking 1. You know what? You can stay for a while. When we press the green button, villager will end up in our trading hall. He took a little bit of a falling damage, but it's not something really important. Nitwit, thanks game, he has no trace. Get out of here! And cleric is our next candidate. 34 here and 38 there. You know what? No, clerics are kinda useless anyway. And I think we have run out of villagers. Let's take a look. Yep, we're out of villagers for today. So, how it works, here we have two buttons, red and green. When we press any of these buttons, it sends a request signal for the new villager and discards or adds the current villager. The signal goes into this end gate, and if there are villagers here and we press one of those buttons, this end gate will trigger a dispenser, and it will dispense a minecart, and if we had a villager, that minecart would pick it up and drop down to the pit. And because of this end gate, we can avoid this situation when we call a minecart without a villager, which makes minecart being stuck. Next, when we press the green button, we will power that rail and villager will move by this rail track. And then he will move here and he will end up in the first empty chamber. Here we have a pressure plate, and if it's not pressed, this tower of torches, well, with the help of tower of torches, we can transfer a signal from the pressure plate to the rail, so that if we have a villager, we have a signal, and we send it to the rail. Well, let's say there is no signal here. You see, it changes its direction. The thing is, rails in this game are affected by the general direction. If we rotate the entire building, we'll have to wire the entire thing differently. Yeah. However, when we press the red button, we move this redstone block, it will power the redstone dust, and that switches the rail. Villager will be ejected onto this block, and then this block will be retracted, and villager will fall down and enjoy the lava and enjoy the borscht. So, in this episode, we have started the trading hall and we have done all the required farms to get unlimited emeralds, like melon farm and carrot farm. Let's check one more villager. And this is gonna be a leather worker? No, get out of here! We have also done the village upgrader, which is very important. And we have started making the main building. Maybe? Well, you know what? I think as we expanded here or making more floors, it will become looking bigger than this building. And having this building sitting on the artificial hill is definitely going to help. We have made a cactus farm, melon farm, and we have also made a villager-based carrot farm. But unfortunately, this is all I have for you for today. And if you have enjoyed this video, look away from the shiny screen, give your eyes a rest for a couple of minutes. Bye bye.